Motobu Chōki was an Okinawan karateka from Akahira Village in Shuri, Okinawa, capital of the Ryūkyū Kingdom, when he was born. His older brother Motobu Chōyū was also a noted karateka. His father, Lord Motobu Chōshin, was a descendant of the sixth son of the Okinawan King, Shō Shitsu, namely Shō Kōshin, also known as Prince Motobu Chōhei Chōki. Was the third son of Motobu Udun, one of the cadet branches of the Ryūkyūan royal family. Is the last of three sons, Motobu Chōki was not entitled to an education in his family's style of Tei. Despite this, Motobu was very interested in the art, spending much of his youth training on his own, hitting the makiwara, pushing and lifting heavy stones to increase his strength. He is reported to have been very agile, which gained him the nickname Motobu no Saru, or Motobu the Monkey. Quote, he began practicing karate under Matsumura Soken and continued under Anko Itazu, Sakuma Pechin and Kosaku Matsumura. Training and career. Although he was reputed by his detractors to have been a violent and crude street fighter, with no formal training, Motobu was a student of several of Okinawa's most prominent karate practitioners. Anko Itazu, Soken Matsumura, Sakuma Pechin, Kosaku Matsumura, and Tokumin Pechin all taught Motobu at one time or another. Many teachers found his habit of testing his fighting prowess via street fights in the Suji undesirable, but his noble birth may have made it hard for them to refuse. Popular myth holds that Motobu only knew one kata, knife and shi. Although he favored this kata and called it the fundamental of karate, he also made comments on the practice of pasai, shinto, and roai. Other sources describe sanshi and kusanku and yuazishi as having been part of his repertoire. He apparently developed his own kata, Shirokuma. Motobu lived and taught karate in Japan until 1942, when he returned to Okinawa, dying shortly thereafter. Prior to this, he had made several trips there to study orthodox kata and kobudo in an effort to preserve the traditional forms of the art. The boxing match. After a number of failed business enterprises, Motobu moved to Osaka, Japan. In 1921, a friend convinced Motobu to enter a boxing versus judo match which was taking place. These matches were popular at the time, and often pitted a visiting foreign boxer against a jujutsu or judo man. According to an account of the fight from a 1925 King magazine article, Motobu was said to have entered into a challenge match with a foreign boxer, described as a Russian boxer, a strongman. Early rounds involved evasion by the smaller man, but after a few rounds, according to the account, Motobu moved in on the taller, larger boxer and knocked him out with a single hand strike to the head. Since reporters were not familiar with karate at the time, it is also possible that Motobu kicked the taller man in the groin to enable striking the head. Motobu was then 52 years old. The King article detailed Motobu's surprising victory, although the illustrations clearly show Gichin Funakoshi as the Okinawan fighter in question. This publication error increased the bitter rivalry between the two men, and led to an apparent confrontation. The two were often at odds in their opinions about how karate ought to be taught and used. The popularity generated by this unexpected victory propelled both Motobu and karate to a degree of fame that neither had previously known in Japan. Motobu was petitioned by several prominent individuals, including boxing champ Piston Horiguchi, to begin teaching. He opened a dojo, the Daidokan, where he taught until the onset of World War II in 1941. Motobu faced considerable difficulties in his teaching. Chief among those was his inability to read and speak mainland Japanese. As a result, much of his instruction was through translators, which led to the rumor that he was illiterate. This rumor has been largely discredited by the existence of samples of Motobu's handwriting, which is in a clear and literate hand. In a Tsunami video production on the Motobu style, Motobu Chōshin comments that his father's language difficulties may have been motivated more by protest at being a displaced member of the Ryūkyūan aristocracy than by inability. Motobu's legacy and notable students. Motobu Choki's third son, Chōshin Motobu, still teaches the style that his father passed on to him. As a point of reference, it is important to distinguish between the Motobu U, which Chōshin teaches, and Motobu Udun, the unique style of the Motobu family, which bears a resemblance to Aikijutsu. Now Chōshin Motobu is the second cirque of Motobu U and the 14th cirque of Motobu Udun. Motobu's karate is marked by a series of two-man kumai drills, which were an advancement in the popular thinking and instructional methods of the time. His curriculum heavily favored the Nihon-shi kata because of the correspondence between its applications and actual fighting, which he experienced in brawls as a young man. Below are some of his ideas regarding the kata. The position of the legs and hips in Ryūkyūan no kata is the basics of karate. Twisting to the left to right from the Ryūkyūan stance will give you the stance used in a real confrontation. Twisting one's way of thinking about Ryūkyūan left and right, the various meanings in each movement of the kata will also become clear. The blocking hand must be able to become the attacking hand in an instant. Blocking with one hand and then countering with the other is not true bujutsu. Real bujutsu presses forward and blocks and counters in the same motion. Motobu trained many students who went on to become noteworthy practitioners of karate in their own right, including Nakamura Shigeru, founder of Okinawa Kenpo; Tatsuo Yamada, founder of Nippon Kenpo Karate-do; Sanosuke Yushima, founder of Kushin-ryu; Yasuhiro Konishi, founder of Shindo Jinin-ryu; Kosei Kokuba, founder of Seishinkai; Hironori Otsuka, founder of Wado-ryu; Tatsuo Shimabuku, founder of Isshin-ryu; Shoshin Nagamine, founder of Matsubayashi-ryu; Katsuya Miyahira, founder of Shorin-ryu Shidokan. Motobu published 2 books on karate: Okinawa Kenpo Karate Jutsu Kumaiten and Watashi no Karate Jutsu.